Big story we're getting at this hour. The ED has got the custody of Delhi Health Minister Satyendar Jain till 9th of June, which means that ED's custodial interrogation of Delhi's Health Minister is going to continue. Munish Pandey is getting us more details on that. Trouble clearly mounting. This was what the battery of lawyers and court were opposing. What was the need for custodial interrogation is the question that Satyendar Jain's lawyers asked in court, but the ED has got the upper hand.
Yeah, well, Sneha, as far as the Enforcement Directorate is concerned, they were represented by the SG Tushar Mehta, and the argument which was presented on behalf of the Enforcement Directorate was that there was a clear-cut involvement of Mr. Satyendar Jain in money laundering, and the total amount which involves Satyendar Jain is much more than 4 crore rupees. Now, the entire crime period which the ED mentioned before the court starts right from 2012 to 2017, and between these period, what ED alleged before the court is that Satyendar Jain, along with the other of his family members, was involved in money laundering of around 16 crore rupees. The arguments were defended by the lawyers of Mr. Satyendar Jain, but finally the court has granted ED custody of Mr. Satyendar Jain till June 9. This is a big development at this point of time. What ED sources are claiming that they have the statements against Satyendar Jain, they have evidence against Satyendar Jain of money laundering. The money was not only used to buy agricultural land around Delhi, but also it is suspected that the same money was used for political purposes also. That is what the ED wants to investigate, and on these grounds ED has got custody of the Delhi minister,
the health minister there. Politically, that's going to play out in a predictable fashion. We've already seen the Aam Aadmi Party say agencies are being used to settle political scores. But Munish, for our viewers, take us through the details of the charges that the Delhi health minister has been facing. This isn't a new case. This Hawala transaction charge has been levelled against the health minister in the past as well. It came up during the Delhi elections and now it's come up again. Munish.
Yeah, well, Sneha, as far as the details of the case are concerned, remember in August 2017, the Central Bureau of Investigation lodged a DA case, disproportionate asset case, against Mr. Satyendar Jain, alleging that he was involved in money laundering. They filed a charge sheet. The case is still before the court, but the total DA case against Satyendar Jain at that point of time by the Central Bureau of Investigation was around 1.47 crore rupees. The Enforcement Directorate stepped into the investigation after the CBI filed an FIR, and according to the Enforcement Directorate, between the period 2010 to 2012, the total amount which was laundered is around 11 crore rupees, and between 2015 and 2016, he misused his position as a public servant, and that time he laundered around 4.81 crore rupees. Now the total amount, according to the Enforcement Directorate, which is under scanner, is around 16 crore rupees, and Mr. Satyendar Jain is accused of misusing the money, laundering the money, using the Hawala network to get money, and using the shell companies, at least 4 shell companies, one of which was directly linked to Mr. Satyendar Jain before 2013. That company was also used. These are the basic allegations against Mr. Satyendar Jain. Now, what about the findings? What ED claims that during the finding, they got to know about the Hawala transaction, the cash transaction, also about certain witnesses in the case. Their statements were recorded, and they said that the alleged money in this entire case, that the money which was allegedly laundered by Mr. Satyendar Jain belongs to him. Based on those statements, yesterday he was confronted with certain suspicious transactions, bank transactions, and also with the witnesses' statement, but he was unable to explain, based on which he was arrested at the very same office where I am standing right now. And today, when he was produced before the court, there was a strong argument presented by the Enforcement Directorate that they need at least 14 days of custody because the laundering of money might be still going on, and it might be used
I'll just come back to you for more on that. We have reactions coming in from the Delhi Chief Minister. The head of the Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal, has reacted. Listen in.
सत्येंद्र जैन जी के इस केस को मैंने खुद पर्सनली सारा स्टडी किया, ये बिल्कुल कंप्लीटली फर्जी केस है। बिल्कुल उनको जानबूझ के पॉलिटिकल कारणों की वजह से फंसाया गया है। तो मैं समझता हूं सच्चाई के रास्ते पे चल रहे हैं। सच्चाई का रास्ता बहुत कठिन होता है। तो भगवान हमारे साथ है, ईश्वर हमारे साथ है, और वो बहुत जल्दी, हमें जुडिशरी के ऊपर भरोसा है और जुडिशरी न्याय करेगी और वो निकल के आ जाएंगे और इस फर्जी केस टिकने वाला नहीं है।
पंजाब के चुनाव से पहले 23 जनवरी 2022 को अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने एक स्टेटमेंट दिया और एक ट्वीट करवाया आम आदमी पार्टी के ट्विटर हैंडल से और कहा, मोदी गवर्नमेंट इज प्लानिंग टू अरेस्ट आवर मिनिस्टर सत्येंद्र जैन राइट बिफोर पंजाब इलेक्शंस। और अंत में लिखा था, हम चन्नी जी की तरह रोएंगे नहीं। तो इतना जरूर पूछेंगे कि जब आज ईडी, जो एक स्वतंत्र एजेंसी है, वो अपनी कार्रवाई करती है, तो आप रोने क्यों लग जाते हैं?
Anisha is also getting us more details on that. Anisha, as far as the next 9 days are concerned, it doesn't look like there are any legal options before Satyendar Jain. I mean, do correct me if I'm wrong. Is it something that he's looking at to escape the custodial interrogation?
Well, Sneha, at this moment, because a police custody remand of 9 days has been given, Satyendar Jain will have to stay in the custody of the Enforcement Directorate. He will now be produced before the court on the 9th of June. During the arguments today, his lawyer, senior advocate N. Hariharan, gave very strong arguments, said that there was no case to arrest him or keep him in custody. He also argued that Satyendar Jain has joined the investigation multiple times, that this is a case that is dating back to, the allegations are dating back to 2015 to 17, and in fact Hariharan also argued that the transactions that the ED is looking into date back to 2012 and 2013. However, because the Enforcement Directorate has argued that this seems to be a continuing offence, that they are saying that there could be a further money trail, that they're trying to find out if there are other beneficiaries, if there is more money that was laundered in this particular manner. That is why they want to interrogate Satyendar Jain. The ED has also said that there is an extensive amount of documentation that has to be considered. From Satyendar Jain's side, of course, this entire argument has been opposed. Advocate Hariharan for Satyendar Jain has been saying that there is no need for interrogation. That is, all the documentation is already in the custody of the Enforcement Directorate. He's also said that these kind of allegations are false, that Satyendar Jain was only a partner, a shareholder in a property development firm that has purchased certain land. The land does not belong to him. The land belongs to the company itself.